So here's the Mi 10i in its box. MP camera. There's a few other notable specifications on the front. First of all, this is a 5G capable phone, and secondly, it uses the Qualcomm Snapdragon 750G processor. Of course, Xiaomi is also emphasizing its made in India credentials. We have the same highlights on the back along with a few others. We can see that this phone has a 120Hz adaptive sync screen and a 4820 mAh battery with a 33-watt fast charger in the box. There's a lot of other stuff that we'll get to soon. We can tell that this model has 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. And of course, we have the Pacific Sunrise color, which Xiaomi really wants to show off. So now let's open out this box. So right on top, there's this inner box. As expected, we have a SIM eject pin, a clear plastic case, and some basic paperwork. You can put this aside and get our first look at the phone itself. We'll take off this final layer of protective plastic. And here's that finish that Xiaomi wants to show off. So you can see it's a bit orangish at the bottom, moving through white and getting to a greenish blue at the top. Looks a little bit like a beach. The frame also has the same color gradient, which you can see at the sides. And we're going to turn that on and check out the rest of the box contents while it boots. So here's a cable with a USB Type-C connector. And this is the 33-watt charger that Xiaomi includes in the box. Now it has a Type-A port on this end, which matches the cable, of course, and it is actually quite chunky. So here's everything you get in the box with the new Mi 10i. Now let me go through the setup process and then we can talk about the specifications. Alright, so that was relatively quick. We see the home screen here of MIUI 12 for the first time. The very first thing that greets us is this ad for Xiaomi's own app store called Get Apps. During the setup process, you get to choose between having everything on the home screen or having an app drawer that you can pull up with the icons for all your apps. You get those choices again in the settings. There's quite a bit of customization. We can see quite a few preloaded apps, including a few of Xiaomi's own and several third-party ones. The app drawer has tabs based on categories. Now let's get a closer look at the phone itself. So what you see here is a 6.67-inch Full HD Plus display. There's Gorilla Glass 5 on the front for impact protection. You have stereo speakers at the top and the bottom. The fingerprint sensor is on the right along with the volume buttons. There's a tray on the left, and as you can see, there are two slots here, so you can choose between two SIMs or one SIM and a micro SD card for storage expansion. On the top we have an infrared emitter, so you'll be able to control some household appliances. And on the bottom there's a USB Type-C port, and this might surprise a few people, but there's also a 3.5mm audio socket. Now, one of the main selling points of the Mi 10i is on the back, and that would be the 108 megapixel camera. You'll also notice that the camera bump isn't very pronounced, which is pretty impressive. So Xiaomi says it has used a brand new sensor for this camera, but it still fits in with the Mi 10 family. You can see the rest of the camera specifications on screen right now. Xiaomi also tells us it has used fast UFS 2.2 storage. You get a 4820 mAh battery but Xiaomi says that even though this might seem like a low capacity, the battery life is actually quite good thanks to the efficient Qualcomm Snapdragon 750G processor. You should also be able to charge this phone up to 100% in 58 minutes and about 68% in half an hour.